everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Wednesday! Welcome back. Don't mind my starting soon scene. This is what I get for not locking it. Sometimes things in the desk get headbutted, and sometimes those things are the mouse, and sometimes they're in places they shouldn't be. I'm just glad you didn't kill the stream. She also knocked over my water bottle and scared the daylights out of herself because it's heavy and it made a big loud noise, huh? Yeah. I know, life's tough. Good morning. All I gotta do, upload an edited video. You don't need to upload it or anything. You just need to have it in your, you can select it as a media source in your streaming software, and then you can play it. GC Snug Bubble, thank you for the 14-month resub. Very much appreciated. And Angel21SE with a 39-month resub. Thanks, guys. Welcome back to the Hazel stream. This is my Monday. This is the beginning of a fresh, brand new week for me. And I have a feeling that unless something exciting happens in Retail WoW, we're going to be streaming a lot of hardcore this week. However, today is Freehold Day. So let's get into it. We've got 17 chances. We can only do 10 of them per hour, so we're probably going to have to fill out some time with like a... maybe like a big dig in half an hour. Monday. Just because it's the start of my 5-day week, because I take Monday, Tuesdays off. Any chance of one comp stomp per alt for Marks? For me, no. not really. Steph the Bee, thank you for the 47-month resub. It sounds like a great way to get Marks of Honor though. All right. We got everything we need. Oh yeah, I was looking at the trading post stuff. That's right. That's where we were. My goodness, my bags are a mess. Cleanup button help at all? Yeah. I've got yeah. These items from the Azerothian Archives. They give you a quest, but then once you've turned in the quest, they keep the item like lingers, which is annoying, and there's nothing to do for it but delete it. So get out of there. Let's go crank through some Freehold, get that instance lockout timer running down. If I'm smart, I'll remember in 30 minutes to do the big dig, and I can even pick up the quest for it ahead of time. If we tab this far enough, we'll find it. It'll be on the carousel eventually. There it was. Big dig Trader's Rest. There we go. Got the weekly. Wait, did I get it? Did I click too fast? I'm just gaming too hard. This game is not prepared for me. There we go. It is an arsenal for 5 minutes per alt. It is such a good deal. It's great. Hazel just finished packing for vacation, leave Saturday, and I'm so hyped. Nice. What is today? Wednesday? You are organized, aren't you? Look at you go. Already packed. Hope Ashidar comes back to the trading post. No way am I paying €19 for it. That's fair. I like this one. I like the little heart on the back of the seat. Although it doesn't dragon ride, so I am being canonically wrong here. Let's get back on Farak. Adventure Guide quest buttons, bit wonky. BFA. Nice. Yeah, we're, I guess on theme for the pirates in the air that we don't know anything about yet. We're doing Freehold today. It's a coincidence, but yeah, you know, look at that. It's a coincidence. We don't have all that much to build a stream off of, so we're going to take what we can get. I have Dream Warden's rep. What else am I carrying around here? Do I need those training stones for anything? Probably not. Pet journal, magic pets. I would need rematch to tell me if I have magic pets that are not leveled. Do I have any pets that are not leveled? Without any 25s. Yeah, I've got 3 pets that are not leveled. And in fact, one of them is magic, actually. So sure, why not? Happy, come here. I got something for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gets her to 18. I also have a quality upgrade stone. There we go. I have a quality upgrade stone. Is anybody not rare? Let me see. Rarity. No, everybody that can be upgraded is upgraded. These ones are pets that cannot fight and, as far as I know, therefore cannot be upgraded in rarity. Alright, are we on Mythic? Dungeon difficulty Mythic, very good. How would you feel if they gave away this mount for free for the pirate patch? That would be so funny. After all of these runs. I mean, you would have fun a new mount to farm, but that would be very funny. Hope your Freehold farm goes better than mine. I'm at 530 attempts. Oh, Darth Duck, I'm so sorry. Rematch is the add-on that is for pets. Rematch. Morning, Hazel and chat. Good morning. Coming patch confirmed to be pirate themed. It's the only thing that is confirmed. It's the only thing that we know about. I guess we know that it's coming in March. The amount that we do or do not know about it is becoming quite a point of contention lately. Oh, I have DBM on. I need to be drinking my coffee, and I need to be sitting a little comfy here. We're on our main. We're not in any trouble here. Worse than your midnight far at 473. I think it was 473, something like that. Yeah, something in that general
Watch your step.
realm. Oh boy. Howdy, Hazel. How's the week going? Hello, Xanis. It's going very well. Thank you for asking. I'm excited for a fresh week. It snowed this morning, which is weird. That is unseasonal for this location. It is, you know, like I live in Canada, but I live in like the balmiest part of Canada. It is weird for it to be like snowing in March, but it was snowing this morning. It didn't stick, but when I went for my morning walk, there was still snow on like cars and roofs and stuff. In winter? It's March! Is it normal for it to snow in March where you live? I will not take this invalidation. It's too early in the week for this. You can do this to me later. Snow's here, it's weird also. It's March the 6th. You know, we're 1 month away from April. Granted. In South Florida. Muggy, warm NYC, kind of uncomfortable. I don't know what normal weather means anymore. Hometown, we sometimes had snow in mid-May. Well, I'm saying it's unusual here. And that's all I'm trying to say. Congratulations on all of your normal March snow. It was just very strange. Moosey didn't quite know what to do with it because he loves snow, but there wasn't enough for him to really be like romping in, but he kind of wanted to make it work. He was like burying his nose in the grass that had the snow on it. There is a mount. It's called shark bait. Ooh ha ha. Red parrot. 80s rainy here. Normal Florida weather. Yeah, we're getting down to, I think, below freezing again a few more times this week. And that's not that unusual for March, but snow's pretty wacky. Alright, well that was no luck there. What attempt am I on? I think it's because I end up like stuck in combat with something earlier in the instance. I don't always have, let me see, add-ons? No. Options, add-ons, rarity, because I do have it enabled. Look, it's right here. Rarity, mounts, and then it's one of those nice ones that actually is under the letter that you would expect it to be, because it's Sharkbait's favorite crackers. Yeah, attempts 225. Is it really only 225? I guess the next attempt will be 225. We've got 224 recorded attempts. I kind of figured it would be more than that. Anyway, let's get her out of here, because she's going to have to do the big dig in about 22 minutes. Are you sure there's a mount? You get your information on the internet? Suffering is over. Got my silly orange axe yesterday. Congratulations. Got the Farak appearance as well, so I never have to go back into that raid ever again. Okay, we're gonna leave that be. I don't know what transmog I'm getting next with the Azerothian Archives, but I figure it's a safe bet to just keep chipping away at it. So upset. Did the big dig earlier today. Tabbed out. Tabbed back in. Dead boss. It can die. I've found the same as you, that it can die very quickly. I've done that same thing, or at least a very similar version of it, where I was just kind of not paying quite enough attention, and then all of a sudden I was like, whoops. Well, that's deceased. Goodness. Alright. Attempt number 225. Maybe because the mog doesn't really interest me. Yeah. I like the mog. But I've definitely, I've been cherry picking all my favorite pieces from the vendor. And the armor set's quite neat, but you do kind of like get one color of the armor set for free. So getting the other armor set that's off the vendor doesn't seem as exciting to me. And the further down I get in this grind, the less motivated I feel. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I might if I, it takes like no time to do one dig in a week, and it gives you a decent chunk of fragments. So I might be persuaded to stick with it long enough. But it seems like the kind of thing I would just kind of like give up on and move on, especially if something more interesting, happens to cross my squirrel-brained frame of vision. Waiting for the next one. I forgot about the Tuskar Feast. Missed that as well. Oh dear. So what kind of things are we doing to... I mean, those of you that are still playing WoW, because there is no shame in taking a break from WoW, especially right about now. But if you are still playing, what kind of stuff are you working on right now? I'm very curious. I am doing this, and that's the only thing left that I'm doing in retail right now. Aside from this, I am playing Classic. I'm playing Hardcore Self-Found, and once I finish this for the week, I'm probably going to go back and do more of that on stream, because I love it very much. Seen it snowing June 1st here at Elevation. Oh, leveling ult to 45. Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, Hagsworth. I learned some Canada facts yesterday. Did you know that when they were making Canada a country, a few other names were Albert's Land, Albionora, Borealia? I've heard some of these. I haven't heard other ones. Victoria Land is new to me. What level are you? I'm not telling. Why am I not telling? I don't know. I need suspense in something. Bloody Tide Turn. I think we're going to log on to it today, though, at some point. I don't think that this is going to take me an entire stream's worth of time. I think I'm doing 2.5 hours today because I do have a dentist appointment today that I need to make sure that I am prepared for. But I think that 17 Freehold runs is going to be like less than 2 hours, so we can poke around a little bit. Mic audio might sound quieter than usual. We're at the same level. I might be speaking more quietly. I'll turn it up a little bit. 4 point. Let's try there. Farming raw gold, leveling some alts, mount farm, etc. It is going to be less than 3 hours. Yes, it is going to be less than 3 hours today. How do you feel about a Shadow Priest for PvP? I think that they're easy to kill relative to other things, and that often they end up getting trained. Whenever I see one on the enemy side of a lobby, I go, oh, hey, I know what we're going to be hitting. All right. You need to get yourself to Freehold. What's the fast way to do that? Oh, I know the fast way to do that. Path of the Freebooter. Easy flex. Main Shadow and PvP doing just fine. Yeah, I'm just poking fun. Cranking through the Emerald Dream campaign. Chunks through some unrated PvP stuff for honor. Nice. Saw a TikTok of a Shadow Priest decimating. Tried leveling one and I got bored. I am direly curious about what successful World of Warcraft TikToks are like. Dungeon difficulty, mythic, very good. Pretty strong in PvP. Sounds better. Thanks, Hazel. You betcha. Thank you for letting me know. I don't have live audio monitoring, so it's super helpful whenever you guys tell me stuff like that. Recommend patience. You'll get targeted till they realize you're not an easy pick. Maybe I'll keep grinding it. And even if it's not easy, does that mean that you shouldn't do it? If only the easy things were worth doing, then something, believe in your dreams, you know, follow your heart, never go to bed angry, eat broccoli? The TikToks, I mean. Yeah, I think it would be a poor idea for me to start scrolling them because I don't think I would ever come out of that hole. Which one do you recommend for a new player to experience deciding to do Kata or War Within? That's a tricky one. They're both valid, they're both fine, they're both new player enough friendly. You know, Classic Kata is going to have fewer layered systems on systems on systems because there's less history baked into it, but it'll also be a bit less modern and it won't have the same kind of long-term there's always a little bit of uncertainty about like the long-term future of the various versions of Classic because there's kind of like because you're replaying something old, it's never really 100% clear how far you'll be able to take that. Whereas with retail, you know, it keeps going. Any luck? No luck? Not convinced Kata's gonna be super popular. Yeah, I'm not either. I'm reserving judgment. Motivate myself to finally do those pet battle dungeons, including the Celestial Tournament. There's some nice pets from them for sure. It's also not the worst thing you can do for gold making. Sometimes if you do the pet dungeons, if you can stomach them, and you do the pet dungeons, you can get yourself there's specifically Dead Mines has a vendor that you get the reward pets from, and those pets are auction houseable. And nobody wants to do the Dead Mines pet dungeons, so people will pay decent gold for those generally. The thing that makes pet dungeons tolerable for me is having the entire thing mapped out in a full complement of rematch saved teams and pet battle scripts attached to each of them. The last thing I want to be doing is trying to figure out what turn I'm on and what move I'm supposed to press next and whether or not I have a pet that's gonna deal, because that's gonna make the whole thing take ages. And when you're doing the same thing over and over every week, it is very nice to have it all automated, and the technology does exist. Doesn't she look nice? Hazel and chat. Sub 7th Saga, how you doing? Good day, good humans. Morning or afternoon or evening, Meg. Dungeon difficulty mythic, very good. Okie dokie. Some notions about making alchemy stuff, but I'm definitely not logging in often enough to keep a proper eye on my auctions, so it's probably better for me not to have any. Could make my gold by selling 1 dice at a time for 27 gold, 47 silver, and what, 51 copper each? I'm rich.
What's your step?
Hunter is so different on retail. I've been playing a lot of classic Hunter. Oh, oops. Oh no, we're cool. Thought I fell to my death for a moment. Morning, coffee, do your thing. Yeah, I'm only like a third of the way through that morning cup. We're making it work. Oh, Ryok, I'm so sorry. That's so stressful. I've been there, and it's no fun at all. And it hurts the emotional part when you like look at the cat and the cat looks at you and they're like, not again, and you're like, but sweetie, it's 4 o'clock, and they're like, no. They don't so much understand that it's for their own good. Okie dokie. Attempt number 228, something like that.
Phase 2.
She does lots of damage. No luck.
Interrupt.
Maybe on attempt 229. She can just wait by the door. Janahita, thank you for the 48-month reset. Appreciate it. Goodness, cat tree. Yeah. Well, it's good that you're on top of his hyperthyroidism. Let's see. Oh, I love that staff. It's so cool. I had a brief moment where I'm like, why is he in Darkshore? And then I remembered that I used the druid teleport that takes you to like a natural place, which took me to the beach gazing upon the burning relic of the tree. Trevin the Curse, thank you for the 21-month resub. Appreciate it very much. Okie dokie. We're going to Borealis. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring out how I'm getting there. Yeah, we can Veldraken in, that's fine. I've had enough of trees this expansion. Well, there you go. What a lovely painting. I have 2 tokens of merit. I should probably trade those for gold before I forget and the season ends. Because I don't think he's like gearing up any further. I'm pretty sure that my season-long experiment is finished here. Oh. It's 2 tokens for just 1,000 gold, but I'll take it. It's 1,000 gold I didn't have before. Oh, toasty butt weapon. Listen, you gotta heat up your bun somehow. You ever seen somebody back up against a fire? It's like my favorite thing to do when there's a fire. We're going Storm 1 Borealis and then we're going to fly. That's right. Just leave the expansion alone. Branch out. That'll deal with the root of the problem. Turn gray a vendor for the same as if you bought the gold. Oh, lots of relief. That's nice. I've been vendoring my tide spray linen. Nobody wants to buy it on the auction house. How was your weekend? It was nice. It was nice. It was very low key. Today is the first day that I'm really starting to actually feel better. This is my first morning off of the cold meds, and I think I'm still going to end up taking some this afternoon. But I got lots of rest. I stayed very cozy. I played a lot of Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Here, let's do a dragon riding match, shall we? I played a little bit of hardcore. I made like some curry in the Instant Pot and some bread in the bread machine, and solid 10-day cold. Yeah, it was ugly. It was the worst one I've had in like my adult memory. But my face no longer feels like something is attempting to emerge from it. I think I probably just ended up with a sinus infection. I think it was a normal cold, and I think it just got stuck in my sinuses. Unfortunately, my partner now has it, and I'm really hoping that same thing doesn't happen to him. So he's on certified bed rest for the moment. Yeah. No good. But the one nice thing about us getting it offset like this is it means that there's one vaguely healthy person available to take care of the other one. We can kind of do it in shifts. Cold has been something else this year. A bunch of people I know are also sick. It's like really doing the rounds. Dungeon difficulty mythic. There we go. Oh, man. Waiting for the warband bank so I can craft stuff on all my tunes? Yeah, that's super exciting. That's going to be really fun. Especially for us spreadsheet gamer types. It's going to make it a lot more straightforward. Keep that nasty cold isolated on the island. I wish that I could like point to something I did wrong as to why I got so sick, but I don't think that illness works like that necessarily. It's not like I was jogging barefoot outside in the snow. I think sometimes you just get unlucky. I had bronchitis. Blame the child/dog. Went to pneumonia, ear infection. Oh, that sucks. Children, sure. Dogs? Can dogs give you colds? I feel like that's uncommon for there to be like zoonotic illnesses that can transmit from dogs to humans. Not impossible, but uncommon. One thing after another, yeah. I just hope that anybody that's not feeling super good is lucky enough to have the time to take care of themselves and rest up, because that usually makes a big difference for me. Hyperhydrated. He just gets into stuff to get dirty to carry germs to you. Speaking of, he got so filthy yesterday. He was he had like a good play in the mud, and it was muddy mud. He was a mucky moose. So he got like a proper bath, a proper 2-person all hands on deck scrub down yesterday. And now he's all soft and he smells like his cherry shampoo, and he's so sweet. 4 hands on deck. Yeah. He's no longer needing to like eat through his entire bath. And now he's not like, he would prefer to leave the bath, but if we're like, Moose, you gotta stay in the bath so we can clean you, he's like, okay, fine. Like, it's very funny how like exasperated he is about it, where he's not like distressed, he's not crying, he's not frantic, he's not really like, you know, worked up or anything. He's just like, ugh, do I have to? He's a very teenager. Does he have feelings about smelling like cherries? I think he likes smelling good. I think he likes being clean. He takes care of his own fur as well. Like if you don't clean his paws, he'll lay down and work on it for a while. But I'm just projecting because I like it when he smells clean. Alright. Another one. What time is it? 25. We got 5 more minutes. I'm going to do this one run, and then I'm going to book it to the big dig to see if I can do that. And that should buy some more time on my instance lockout. I have farmed the Strathholm Mount. I have that one. Mr. Moose is doing good. He's doing good. He's a big boy. He's a real sweetie. He's very cute. Get the vacuum ready for when he sheds his winter coat soon. I took a lot of hair off of him in the bath. He sheds a lot when you're bathing him. I have a special drain cover so that when I drain the bath, I don't clog it with dog hair. And then he's just comes off of him in waves. I have two mammal pets. I have one kitty cat and I have a puppy dog. And then I have a variety of, I have a couple fish and an unspecified amount of worms. Oh no, my snacks. How many runs on Strat? I did it a long time ago. I don't remember. Mushroom drain things too? Not the rubber ones. I just get the metal. I had extra of the metal grates. It's just like a cup that kind of sits over it. And I just pull, I don't leave it on there all the time. I just pop over there when I'm draining the tub from Moose. Because I have them anyways for my kitchen sinks. Because we don't have like carburetors or anything here in most places. So you can't have any food going down the drain. So and the normal drain covers I feel like do a terrible job of preventing food. So I just have like these strainers basically that I pop over both drains. And I got like a huge pack of them. So I just use one of those. Hot drain talk today. I don't know why this is a topic. Listen, drain maintenance is an important thing to me because nothing sucks more than when your drain won't drain. And nothing feels more empowering when you are able to both prevent it from getting clogged or resolve a clog on your own. Obviously, no one to call a plumber, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of emotions tied up in drains. It's very frustrating, especially because it like reminds you every time of how like incompetent you seem to be at maintaining your house when you're like standing in a shower that's like very slowly draining, and you just like go, well, I'll deal with it eventually, and then every day you have to look at the proof that you haven't done anything yet. That sucks. That's no good. No one likes that. I'm leaving. I'm gonna zone out, and we're gonna go do the big dig. That's right. Garbage disposal is not common inside the U.S. Yeah, that's been my understanding as well. Something about keeping stuff out of the water. I don't know. I used to date a plumber. That was nice. Never had to worry about drains. Water's cold. Take hot showers. Drips in the floor. Looks like it's leaking, but it's not. Just the condensation. Yeah. Moose likes to lick that off the side of the tank, and it's like gross, even though it's like not necessarily dirty. Like I clean that part, but it's still, it's like, buddy, please. You have water in a bowl. Big dig time. My first apartment, I thought you could put sauces down the drain. Ketchup got so stinky, unfixable. Oh, man. I mean, I feel like small amounts, I guess it depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it, but I feel like small amounts you kind of can. But I feel like we've all, or at least many of us, have done kind of unspeakable things in like our first experiences living alone, because no amount of good parenting can really prepare you for what it's like when you're on your own out there. Big dig time. So we need a dragon running mat. We need to just zoom our way south. We could take the, forget the vault. We could take a fast travel. I think I'll do that. Down the drain flies. It's much better when you ignore problems, pretend there are not consequences. Trust me, I do this a lot. And it's funny, that's the thing I'm working on right now. That's the pattern I am putting all this, a lot of effort into breaking, because I've discovered that it's ruining my life. Maybe I need a dog to lick the condensation to keep from getting on the floor. That is a rostrum. That's not what I'm after. I'm after the fast travel point and the different purple pad on the metal stone platform. That's the one. Because we're starting up in like a minute here. Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Better than coffee for a slight hangover. I'm supposed to put an eggshell down the drain. Didn't dispose all the way. Could clog the sinks. Eggshells can be really good for lots of things. They're nice in the compost. They're good in the garden sometimes. Used to actually, assuming they were clean, feed them back to chickens to use as like grit. Like you would crumble them up and they would like kind of peck at them. Where else were they from? Nope, that's it. All right, my university's apartments. Discovered many students don't know what to do with grease after cooking. One of them had dumped all of it. One apartment had dumped all of the grease from cooking in the little tiny space between the stove and the fridge and let it sit there for a year. No. No thing. I have a crisis whenever I drop like a frozen pea down that space because I know that it is highly unlikely I'm going to retrieve it. Oh my god. That one wins. That's like a fire hazard. And incidentally, fire may be the only way to fix it. Old grease, like an old grease buildup is one of the hardest things I've ever tried to clean off of stuff. I once tried to clean an apartment that people had been cooking, they'd been like frying things, and for a long time, and kind of like the grease spatters and like builds up and I guess gets in the air and gets on the walls and gets like on the cabinets and stuff. And I was trying to, I have a job. I was trying to scrub that off and I'm like, oh, hey, it's grease. You know, I can use like some soap and a little elbow grease. And it turns out when it is really old and entrenched and layered like that, you need either some serious chemicals or you need to move and give up. You need a professional. Yeah, it gets really hard to remove. I'm sure there are techniques that can actually properly deal with it, but I was like, you know, trying different solutions and soaking things. Like you would take like the filter for the kitchen vent down and you would like soak it in the sink multiple times trying to like get the gumminess off of it. It was no good. Many molds, growths, bugs. Oh man. Take sandpaper, sand off the grease. Set up equipment, important remote location. But ever since then, I've always been more, not perfect, mind you. I'm extremely far from a perfect being, but I've been more conscientious about, you know, like a little soap, little wipe down the front of the cabinets, you know, the front of the stove. Just general surfaces in the cooking area now and then, because it's no problem to remove when it's like just one layer. We're going this way. I guess I'm not too fussed about actually doing particularly well at the dig as long as we complete it for the weekly dump of fragments. We've got 9,300 fragments right now. This is going to give me another 5k? Yeah. Plus whatever we get. The TSAT, very important for research. Used to doing the counters around the butter dispenser at the movie theater. Diet Coke, really? Isles Archivist. Not so much. So I need the reputation. I need 5 more rocks from the world quest. Clued in is another 7 of the clues things. And then just one more thing, which I definitely need to do for Reese. But I can't be that far off from that. I need to actually take a look at the world quest layout. And by that, I mean just do all 3 of the world quests, because I can never figure out which location is which, so I just do them all, and I hope eventually we get there. Do I have a soda of choice? In my youth, I used to be all about either Coke or Dr. Pepper. But I just can't do it anymore. It's incompatible with my body. Join a raid, excavate them from the world quest in the Unknown Plains without completing it. Oh. I don't think I'm too fussed about getting the title, honestly. I think as long as I do the world quest thing to get the pet, that's the important thing for me. Canada Dry. That used to be something we would keep on hand, so that anytime anybody had like a stomach flu or nausea, that was our go-to ginger product at home. Is your mom would open up a can of Canada Dry and let it get flat, and then give you a little cup of like warm, flat Canada Dry to accompany your saltine crackers in your bucket as you lay on the couch and hurled. Good times, memories, you know. But in my adult years, I discovered that I have actual ginger, and I can just make tea, and then I don't need to worry about it being decarbonated or sugary. Miss Dr. Pepper so much. Killed Smorgas and Maldraxxus for the pets yesterday, and I got one first time. Super lucky. Which one was the one you had to manifest into being? Smorgas, Feasting, and the Corpse Louse larva. Which one was it? I don't remember which one it was. I would have had to have gone back and like check the VODs, which are probably gone now because I didn't have my VOD channel back then. I don't know. One of them was rude for sure. One of them was awful. I once bought a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper when I was in the US. I drank one every day while I was there, and every day it would taste and feel more like battery acid. Yeah. Get the feasting, hope the other one isn't the rude one. Check on the auction house prices. Let me see if I can do it, actually. Because that'll give you a hint. Corpse Louse larva is worth 241k. Feasting is worth 12. So I think the Corpse Louse must be the rare one based on that. Am I quiet? I turned myself up once already. I can do it. I can do it a little bit more. As long as we're not peaking. If I'm too loud, you guys gotta let me know. I know my tones are not the most dulcet today. Can't with Dr. Pepper? Yeah, it might be a divisive kind of thing. We will let you know. Just wait until I get the first time I get like real excited about something, I'm gonna be breaking your eardrums down. There we go. Look at me, I'm helping. Barbecue water, that's a funny way of putting it. I wonder if there's like a coffee shop. There must be. I wonder if your standard average everyday coffee shop will sell you like herbal teas. Because I had some interest is a strong word because I'm pretty like vehemently opposed to doing this, which is a good indicator that I should maybe give it a try. As a little bit of exposure therapy. I had some notion about like attempting to, for like an hour, bring my laptop to a coffee shop to work. And I understand that the etiquette is that you should purchase something. You should spend some money and you should tip the staff so that you are, you know, paying for your privilege to occupy space in their establishment. But if I was going to make a habit of that, I don't actually want like a coffee or like any further caffeine. I've already kind of, I have my caffeine balance well mapped out for the day. And I also don't want any sugar, which kind of leaves me with herbal teas. But I also want to make sure I'm spending enough money to not be rude. And also there's a strong chance I never do this because I feel like I'm going to do it wrong. I don't know. I'm going to be in the way. Check a mouse over in the map. Oh, let me see. Where is the Dream Surge? It's in this zone. No. Looks like the foot or the foot. Although if the foot... Well, that's funny. One of them is like a combination of many different buffs, so it's possible. Coffee shops aren't big chains, more likely to have herbal teas. Coffee shop, my little town, wondered if there's any types of tea. What are my fears behind working in a coffee shop? I'd be worried that it would be busy and that I would be in the way, I think would be my biggest thing. I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to be an inconvenience. I don't want to be rude. But like, you know, it's a busy city. It's not like there's a place that's empty. If it was, it would have gone out of business a long time ago. Free refills of plain teas, basic coffees. Green tea, which I semi-like. Alright, look at me paying attention. I'm gonna kill Doom Shadow. Stig never gives me the epic tome. Do I have a super clicky keyboard? It's a medium clicky keyboard. We're looking at Cherry MX Brown switches. Is it coming up more than normal? Did you just forget what my stream sounds like? Because I've been gone for 2 whole days. We're using the right microphone. That's a good start. Oh, for Starbucks. No, that would just be like a MacBook. I thought we were back on the stream sound. Yeah, no, I would not bring a mechanical keyboard to Starbucks. Actually, don't. It would be more of like a local coffee shop. But the closest Starbucks is like, I don't know, it's a madhouse. Off to work, have a lovely stream, catch you around. Some people do. I mean, I've seen people with like typewriters. People do wild things in this city. 5K. Okay, I shouldn't say I've seen people with typewriters. I've seen a person with a typewriter and I went, wow, that's a look. That is a commitment to your choices. Okay, we have 14,000 fragments. We could buy something if we wanted to. Should we go shopping? Do you know how to move the add-on thing above you? I do not. Absolute anarchist. I watched another old movie that I'd never seen before, which was You've Got Mail, featuring Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. And in that movie, Meg Ryan's character has like a kind of pretentious boyfriend who is like a typewriter geek. And he has like 3 of the same model typewriter, and he's just like absolutely swooning over the thing. And I thought that was so funny because that reminds me so much of just like, I don't know, lots of hardware geeks that I know, in a nice way. Move the add-on. Don't know how to move it anywhere. Oh, the Weekora. You can, when you open up the Weekoras tab, you can move things. You can move things. You just go /WA to open up Weekoras, and then you can scooch it around. I could probably turn mine off, honestly. We're not really doing much with it anymore. It's my favorite movie. Sometimes the old rom-coms haven't aged well, and that one actually was really cute. It also benefits from a dog. It has a cute dog. 55 gold. I have all of this transmog. I don't need these things. Give me 2,000 gold. In 2016, my work used to actually use a typewriter to type out their checks. In 2016, 80-year-old guy used to come in to fix it when we had issues. That is precious and also hilarious and also probably a problem, but oh boy, made me want to visit New York. You know what is aged well? Animal sports movies like Air Bud. I can't watch Air Bud. It's not on my streaming services. People still use checks in Canada and the United States. Not for as many things as they used to. A lot of things that used to be checks are now done digitally, but you know, like your grandmother still might give you a check for your birthday, or they're still used. You would maybe have a harder time paying for your groceries with one, depending on where you're shopping. Like writing checks to like a shop is something that is less common. You would get some side eyes for doing that, but you know, I have a checkbook. I keep it. I don't balance it, and I've never understood what that meant because all of my accounting is done with my online banking, and I'm kind of glad I lived in this era because the other one seemed like a lot of work. Dungeon difficulty mythic. There we go. I used to pay for my rent with a check. I used to have to write it. I wrote a whole stack of them, and they post-dated them, and I would just mail one off every month. Still write checks to pay my rent. There you go. Live rural. Lots of places that only take cash or check. You all want to know when checks were deemed obsolete, not used anymore here? Sure. Yeah, when was it? I used to work with the last IBM typewriter salesman in North America. I mainly knew IBM as the people behind Lenovo, because when I worked in computer sales, the various reps would come by and they would kind of like be like, hey, here's the pen. Do you have any questions about our latest product? And they would try to like educate you on how to sell their product to your customers. So they were also trying to like schmooze a little bit. And some of them would try to be like hip and with it. And some of them would try to be like super cool or like, and then the Lenovo person was just like in the stuffiest, Like, I don't know where you even find, like, it's like the caricature of, like, a depressed business person from 1993 wearing, like, drab earth tones and scratchy polyester. And I'm pretty sure I got a pen. The machines were good value at the time. They were not the flashiest, and they did not have the latest features, but for value for build, they were good. It was not the worst thing that you could do. Of course, I haven't worked there since 2012, so I have all of my information is highly dated. Here we go. One of my duties, clearing checks in my company's accounting system.
Watch way.
Mother still balances her checkbook just to make sure the online is correct. Never could wrap my head around it. I know people that do that as well, and they are occasionally able to catch discrepancies that they can then dispute online. Like, they can find... I mean, it's kind of just an old-fashioned version of, like, keeping on top of your account so you can see, oh, hey, I didn't make that charge, or, like, this charge is in an incorrect amount, or this thing got double billed, or whatever. It's a good idea to keep an eye on those things, because occasionally there are problems that if you don't catch them, you end up paying for them. Yeah, couldn't be me. No luck. 1 dice. No luck. I remember going to Staples for office supplies. We had an electronic typewriter when I was a kid. That's how I typed up all my papers. Fancy. You can flag issues for when the bank cashes the wrong amount due to it scanning it correctly. I haven't shopped for a computer in a long time. I've just bought parts and then, like, Frankenstein them onto the same computers I've been using. Caught check fraud. People try and cash phony checks. Yikes. How are we doing? I should check on my instances per hour. No luck. No luck on the mount. Outside of business use, don't think I've seen checks since the 90s. Hi. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Do we have any checks? Checks? Charms. Different word. Same conversation. Wires getting crossed. Pet charms, very good. It's not the fastest thing, but, you know, I have been I feel like I'm growing mushrooms. I feel like I have a little hobby farm, a little cardboard box in the closet that is this character and her Shadowlands mission table, where I just kind of plant the spores of anima, and then a little crop of pet charms comes up, and they're just like my own, you know, it's not enough to, like, have a business, but she has, like, her own steady supply for herself and her own purposes. Pardon me. 7 instances entered with 20 minutes before we get another one available. So let's do 2 more and then we'll find something else to do. Which might indeed be the time rift, actually, now that I think of it. But she needs to actually use her Coltiris wormhole because her Hearthstone takes her here. Those wings, those are pretty. Thank you. I think next Ramus shoulders is what we figured out together last time we looked. Oh no, the helmet was next Ramus. The shoulders are current season, last season? Obsidian Gladiator Silk Amis. Huh. Also, Lucky Teleport. Okay, no, actually, never mind. Unlucky Teleport. As far away as possible. I should kill Rust Feather while I'm over here. My goodness. Yeah, they look nice, though. Yeah, you can still get pet coins from the shadow. You can get them from any mission table now that they've dissolved shiny pet charms, so that everything that used to give a shiny pet charm now gives a polished pet charm. So you can get polished pet charms now from the Legion mission table as well. Rust Feather will put a dent in your instance lock. It would indeed do that. This flight's gonna put a dent in my instance lock. I need to budget my vigor over here. We need to be going fast enough to be generating more is the trouble. Time for me to go see Dune 2. Have fun. Bye. Dune 2, good times. That's good. I'm looking forward to seeing it at some point once myself and partner are back to health and with a reasonable amount of free time to go spend an evening somewhere or an afternoon. Afternoon might be good. But I figure the longer I wait, the emptier the theater will be, which will be good. Like how they portrayed the Harkonnen. Books can get icky with them. Aw. Thanks, Galathian. I appreciate it. I had a moment when I was like, wait a second. Every now and then I get like a true I don't know. I don't know what this makes me. But I sometimes get like, whoa. I get impressed, surprised, confused when I realize that an actor that played one character in one movie played a different character in a different movie, and I go, that was the same guy? In this case, it's Stellan Skarsgård being both the Baron Harkonnen and also the goofy dad from Mamma Mia. Well, one of the 3 goofy dads from Mamma Mia. And it's like, yes, Hazel, that's how acting works. Like, it's so stupid, but I still have that moment where I'm like, wait, no way. Dungeon difficulty mythic, there we go. And I'm sure that Stellan Skarsgård has done a great deal of movies and work outside of Mamma Mia and Dune, but those are the 2 things that jumped out at me that I knew him from. Also, Bootstrap Bill, Orlando Bloom's father in Pirates. Oh my goodness. They're good at lying to you. Also in Marvel movies. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in a long time. I think I tapped out right around the second Captain America, I want to say. Maybe the 3rd one. I don't know. I liked the first one, and I was chasing that high for a while, and then I realized that I was craving not the same movie again, but the person who I was when I watched it, and that was just gone. I have seen The Fifth Element, yeah. Favorite Gary Oldman role. When I was younger, I used to be the person that never really followed actor names unless it was like a super big name actor, like an absolute A-lister. And the older I get, the more I want to be like, oh yes, that is so-and-so. They've been active since this year, and they're most popularly known for these roles. Which is like a goofy role for me to take on because I'm not a cinephile. I haven't seen most things. I watch the same things over and over again, so it makes no sense for me to get snooty about who's been in what. It's like the most pointless trivia ever, but it's satisfying to be like, oh yeah, they were also in this. What about hot ladies? You've lost me. What about hot ladies? Do you see the previous 4 elements? Did you just skip straight to the 5th? Learning a lot about movies from James Rolfe's Cinemassacre Monster Madness. Watched RoboCop yesterday? Huh. I should watch that. I don't know if I will, but I should. I would consider the word actor to be gender neutral. I understand there's also the term actress, but I think that applying the word actor to a female actor is acceptable and not a problem. I didn't even know there were 2 RoboCops. I don't really know much about RoboCop, aside from the fact that it's a robot and also law enforcement. Great, also very violent. I see. Let's do this one more time. Yeah, one more quick one, and then we can head over to the Time Rift. Unfortunately, there's 3 RoboCops. My goodness. A children's cartoon. That seems ill-advised. All right, one more. Super quick. Last night I wanted to put on a movie while I was playing Hardcore Classic, and I couldn't find anything I wanted to see. It's really hard for me, and this is the worst first world problem ever. Oh, boo-hoo, poor baby. I can't figure out, I don't want to watch anything. I look at everything and I go, I don't know. Maybe this is a good sign that I should get off my butt and go do something, but like, I wanted to put something on while I was leveling. I ended up re-watching Tick Tick Boom to see if I enjoyed it any differently or better or worse on the second watch through, especially because I felt like it was a good one to put on the side because I didn't necessarily need to look at it the whole time. It wasn't like a subtitle thing. It was music based. And it hit me harder the second time, especially once I was prepared for how disjointed it is. It is a strange movie that it like barely qualifies as a movie, but it's got killer songs. Love that movie and soundtrack. Yeah, it's really grown on me a lot. The first time I watched it, I was extremely confused. I didn't know anything about Tick Tick Boom, and I just knew that Lin-Manuel Miranda had produced it or directed it or whatever. So I was expecting it to be a little bit more coherent, and I find the whole thing to be not very coherent at all. It sort of tells a story, but not in the way that you have come to expect from like movies. But the songs are so good that it kind of doesn't matter. And like I think the other thing that makes it not matter is that the emotions that it touches on are both so beautifully described and so relatable. Put on a lot of history documentaries. I'm getting a little bit of the ick with documentaries because I used to trust them. And nowadays I'll look at a documentary and I'll be like, oh, this seems interesting. But then I have to like Google it to find out whether or not like established authorities in whatever space the documentary is in say that the thing is like a quack job or not. Because a lot of documentaries that end up getting produced and look like super official are like they're very, very biased and they're very heavily cherry picking data. And I mean, they're making entertainment, so you can kind of do whatever you want. But if you're not careful, you'll end up seeing something that is presenting itself as like an absolute scientific authority that is presenting data that is like super, super not sound. And I hate that. I feel tricked whenever that happens. So anytime I'm like looking into a documentary or a docu-series, I will usually give it a Google to try to figure out whether or not it's one of those like people that has like a podcast that is like, you know, shilling effectively conspiracy theories because they're sensational and because they sell, or if it's like actual experts that are presenting actual data, because I like that. All right, we got to go to the time rips. I will not give any specific examples at the risk of starting any fights. I'll just say it's something that's happened more than once on more than one different topic. Yeah, I want to see the new Wonka movie. I think, I don't think I'm going to see it in theaters, but I would like to watch it eventually. Yeah, something like Ancient Aliens, I think, where they are clear about how fringe it is, I feel like is a bit different. I feel like that kind of, and maybe this is just me drawing arbitrary boundaries, but I feel like that sort of makes clear that you are watching something that is quasi-fictional. They're not trying to, I don't know. Maybe they are, and I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to do a time rift. That's what the aliens want you to think. I don't know how Gold Rush, a show about miners looking for gold in the wilderness, is related to history. Really? I feel like we learned about the gold rush in many history classes here. It was an important part of history. It influenced the patterns in which people moved and immigrated. It influenced the, you know, mobility of wealth in the country. Oh, modern miners. Oh, I thought you meant like the gold rush, not like nowadays. Okay. Sorry. I'm confusing the show with the gold rush. Related to history, yeah. Okay, I'm with you. We're going to the time rift. I need a faster mount. I should swap these keybinds. Everything's related to history. I would say that sounds related to history in the same way that if you had like a reality drama TV show that was talking about the interpersonal workings of a Renaissance reenactment squad, which I would watch, that thing would slap. But that would be, it's like related to history, but in a way that is like not necessarily the main focus of the show. Fill the hourglass. Okay. We're mainly just trying to make sure that we complete the time rift. And I want to make sure I have the quest for that as well. I might need to pick it up. I do have an encapsulated destiny, actually. Wow, I'm really bad at this. Or I'm doing badly at this today. Although, honestly, this is something I'm okay to be bad at. I wouldn't say this is an activity that is tied to my ego. Oof. Wow. Alright. Excuse me, ma'am. I need your weekly quest. Thank you. What if we just hang out by the boss? Like, it doesn't really matter if we get the boxes. What a shockingly niche pitch for a show. Do you still not join red groups? It depends. It depends on how heavily I feel like it's going to affect my bottom line. In this case, the answer is not that heavily, so I don't really bother. For Researchers Under Fire, it was pretty vital, so I did join Researchers Under Fire groups every week. I miss my normal voice. Me. Come back. Come back. Drink some more herbal tea. Excited for the Fated season? Yeah, I'll play it. Excited might be a strong word, but what if I'm just like too zen to get excited? What if we've just grown past being excited and we've moved into serenity, right? Is anyone? Yeah. I think like my raid is definitely going to reconvene. The question is how many of us reconvene and for how long. But like with this Shadowlands Season 4, we had a good time with it. We came back, we cleared them all, we got them out, had a nice little time. A little victory lap. I'm not mad at that. Excited for Blizzard to reveal the duck mount that we are 100% entitled to. I have 8 aspects tokens of merit in this character. She could buy sockets, but she doesn't want to. I could catalyze a myth piece and then socket it, but it would be the same item level as this one, and I'm not going to farm aspect crest to upgrade it, so like, whatever. It's fine. Should we kill Drestigath the Corrupted just for something to do? No. What about the stinky basket of dead fish? Title for getting max rep with the archives. There's a title for a meta achievement that requires you to get max rep with the archives. You need to get tenured with the archives, and then that's one of the achievements towards your meta. The title, I think, is Isles Archivist. Let me double check that. Archivist. Yeah, Isles Archivist is the title. Speaking of which, actually, I've got 5 minutes. I'm gonna see which locations I am close to getting the Just One More Thing achievement on. I keep going back to this Wowhead page that has, and here I'll link the page just for in case anybody else wants it. This Wowhead page, on the top comment there is a script you can run that lets you check which world quests you need, or which world quests you've done, which locations you've done, and how many times towards the Just One More Thing achievement, which is relevant as one of the things that's part of Isles Archivist, but also because it rewards a pet. You just need to get to 3 in any of these things. I am 2 out of 3 for Gaze of Neltharion, Concord Observatory, and Winglord's Perch. Unfortunately for me, I don't actually know which ones any of them are, so I've just been doing all of them. Techno Scrying. Oh, Concord Observatory. Okay, so if I do that world quest after this Time Rift, we should get that achievement. Unless I'm mistaken, which is possible. The pet is not a beagle. I believe it is a... It's Haphe. Oh no, it's not Haphe, it's Reese. Haphe is the other one. Okay, now I actually don't know what it is. What if it's a beagle? Unfortunate. No, just one of them, not every one of them. Just the first time you get to 3. Yeah. Oh, nice. Congrats. Neltally, thank you for the 8-month free sub. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Goodness. Oh, oops. How am I doing on paracausal flakes? 400. I guess we spent them down. Hell of a line. Thank you for the 12-month resub. Wanted to say thanks for building such a wonderful community. Aw, shucks. I wish it was Isles Archivist Hazel and not Hazel, comma, Isles Archivist. Should be able to choose where the title is. Yeah, some of them are kind of wonky for being in like a bizarre spot. I agree. What if I could be Ma Walker Inksy instead of Inksy, comma, Ma Walker? Did you hear DFA is coming out with a different way to rank WoW collections that I like much better because I'm higher in the list? I have not heard. Tell me more. Does it mean that I don't have to chase unique appearances anymore, with the exception of for quantum transmog items? Excited fingers. I don't remember what my title is. I usually use the Insane. I feel like the Insane is remains the most impressive title I have. I don't know if it's the least commonly collected one. I don't have any data on which titles are more or less common. But I do know that the Insane is, and plus it's got, they both start with the same 2 letters, which is kind of cool. It makes appearance count way more. Why I'm higher rated. Oh, they have title data. That achievement is absurd. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's not as bad as it used to be. It's not as bad as it was in when it was first added in Wrath or whatever. It is Cataclysm in particular has made it easier to do Blood Sail rep because you can cheese it by doing it within the instanced version of the end quest in Stranglethorn Vale. And then Darkmoon Fair, of course. Darkmoon rep is not as bad as it used to be because there's more sources of it now that the Darkmoon Fair is a whole thing of its own. The rogue thing is still stupid. No, I did the easy version. I started it when it was worse, but I finished it when it was easy, and I did not make a whole lot of progress on it back when it was bad. I did that achievement. Let me see. Where's my feats of strength? Where am I flexing at? Insane in the membrane. Excuse me? Is it? There we go. I finished it in 2016, summer of 2016, so 8 years ago. Yikes. Yeah. Honored to Buccaneers, exalted with Booty Bay, Everlook, Gadgets, and Ratchet, Darkmoon Fair, and Ravenhold. That's not so bad. And I did Bloodsail Admiral apparently in 2014, 2 years previous to that. Seeker of Knowledge is my most cherished title. I painted my nails yesterday, but I think I messed up and I accidentally used top coat as both the base coat and the top coat, so I don't think this manicure is going to last very long. Boo boo. Very good titles, except maybe Predator. Hi, Rain. Straight back. Happy bones. Proud streamer. Oh, hey, look, it's Gildan. Forever the queen of having one tune per thing in this game. There's something that feels just so delightfully organized about it. Yeah. Excuse me. I wouldn't get too excited about account-wide reps being retroactive until you see actual proof of it. Don't spend all your feelings too early. Ooh, I needed that. Nice. Okay, that is worth a couple of appearances. I got a gun I didn't have. I got a time pod that I can trade for a piece of cloth that I didn't have. And then, of course, we got some flakies. Oh, it's a gun. Overclocked hand cannon. Oh, that's actually a cool gun. Look, it's got a little face on it. I would rather be a little annoyed for a while than really mad for a couple of days. It's just like, we're talking about like a long while, aren't we? Almost the same size as your dome. But by all means, don't let me tell you how to feel. Never let anyone tell you how to feel. That's no good. We're gonna send the hand cannon to Crinkle. Yeah, I can just Hearthstone. We've got a mail over there. Oh no. I need to spend my dilated time pod. That's right. Goodness, getting ahead of myself. Collected an appearance from a different item. So 2 of these things I apparently know from a different item, which is funny to me. 3 things. Well, I guess I'll know it from this item then. And then let's turn in the weekly and see how many flakes we have, because we're still buying a couple things off the vendor. And another encapsulated destiny. Not too bad. Paracalzo flakes at 571, but we got a cluster of them. I don't know how I expect to find anything in these bags. All right, 1,500 now. So then we go back. Yeah, so I could buy like a helmet. I could buy the waist and feet pieces. Let's just buy the hood. I'm not going to use it, but I'll have it. We can learn it for the sake of learning it. Here we go. Now you can go back. You're right, I could get another Archivist Mog. Let's go look at that before we've Hearth, actually, because that's just a little ways north of here. And we've got 8 instance lockouts still, but they're coming up. They're coming up shortly, so we have nearly killed enough time. Got my 3rd island expedition mount last night. 5th box, more than 50 runs at the island so far. Congratulations! New mount in the Bema area? Scarab? Yeah! You want to see it? It's the Regal Golden Regal Scarab. I don't know if anybody was asking, but I just love an opportunity to be obnoxious. Melted down 1.2 mil gold for... You want to see his mount special? / mount special. Oh, sorry. I messed it up. I'll try again. There it is. Wow. Have you enjoyed having short hair? Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. You want to know something magical about having quite short hair? Is that it cannot become tangled. It doesn't get caught in things. People, like, it can't be pulled, you know, especially as, you know, my fellow curlies will know the pain of having, like, had to, like, kind of rip through and, like, it can really hurt sometimes. And that hasn't, you know, my hair hasn't hurt me in years now, anyway. 14,000 fragments. friend of mine sold a woolly white rhino for 2 mil. Then used the gold to buy this new one. There you go. So I've been leaving the set alone more or less. And I've been kind of looking at buying the weapons. Focusing on the most unique ones first. So this looks very similar to something we already have, as does this. The chisel's kind of unique, but it's also really boring. The grappling hook's kind of cool. I could get some glasses, but again, we already have glasses. I'm actually quite close. I think I might save up another 1,000 fragments and then get like another color of the backpack. Actually, I think that might be what I do. We're pretty close. We need another 150 or so. Oh, actually, I was going to do a world quest anyways because it was going to give me maybe the pet. Maybe this gives me my Reese. And that will also, hopefully, Archivist. Yeah, that'll give me enough fragments to buy a backpack. That'll be good. Let's do that. Figured if I was going to Jamaica, it'd be cooler to have shorter hair. Get the unbrush, it works. No more tangles. I don't really need a hairbrush. My hair is quite short. Very, very short. They do sell a rope. And I have the rope offhand already. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I never thought of mucking them together. Have you got the mount for 20k? Which mount is that? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Oh, off the fragments. Yes, yes, I have purchased that already. I was still thinking of gold in the BMOV vendor. I was like, wait, did I miss another mount? No. Yeah, I got the quota. That was the first thing that I got. Okie dokie. Scrying mode. Yes, my hair is short on purpose. I cut it short with my own 2 hands under my own free will of sound mind and body, I promise. Throw away another 250k in the mugs. Throw away is kind of a violent verb. I don't know. Maybe. Quite possibly. Kind of hard to say because 250k could buy me a token that could buy me like shop mogs, you know, which are sometimes nicer looking. Because none of the mogs, maybe the shield actually. The mogs from the vendor, most of them didn't super speak to me, which is why I didn't do them right away. I must be right on top of this thing. Is it out here in the cart? No, I've gone the wrong way now. Is it behind the thing? It must be inside. Let me take a closer look. It lights up blue. I should be right on top of it. Having a bit of a moment. I'll check behind the tower just in case it's outside. But if so, very misleading. Do you still do the podcast? No, I haven't been on a podcast since like a long time. 10 years or so. If you've heard a podcast that I was a regular member on that was more than 10 years old, then it was not me. It was somebody else. Is it this birdie? It is! It's a duck carving. That's cute. They tried to trick me. Wish my bags were as empty as yours. Oh. I'm flattered that you think they're empty. I find them to be a big mess. I need to just disenchant that myth track helm. I'm never gonna like upgrade it. I'm never gonna upgrade it. Don't tell me it's the same duck carving. They wouldn't do that to me, would they? No. That's mean. That is subtle. That is clipped right through that shelf. Excuse me. There we go. Achievement? No achievement? No, it was not a hardcore classic podcast. I think you must be thinking of somebody else. Podcast with you and Kira when? I feel like she has opinions that need to be shared. I hate to break it to you, but this is the podcast. She's walked off at the moment, but I think that my stream is the Hazel podcast. I get on every 5 days a week and we talk for 2 to 3 hours a day. I don't have anything else to say. I thought you were the voice behind Dungeon Fables. I 100% not. It doesn't help that your character is 3 feet tall. What about it? Oh, yeah. Speaking of cleaning up my bags, let's take a little look-see here. What can I get rid of? I'm going to vendor the origami slimes. That's a rep token. Those are feasts, eggs, invis pots, damage pots, dragon spittle. That's water. Health pots, mana pots. Yeah, we need all those. I'm going to vendor that later. I'm going to send this to... That needs to be mailed to somebody who can learn it. And then we have some things that we can disenchant as well over here. I'm holding on to these ominous conches for nothing. I also don't need my soul inhaler anymore. I have everything done with that, so I'm just going to vendor it. I don't want these guys. Go away. That's from Love is in the Air. I don't need Dream Surge Coalescence. Barter Bricks I will hold on to. Well, I'm kind of farming Barter Bricks in a different character, though. Let's just sell them. And the High Fiber Leaves. The seeds we hang on to, the Vault Key can go. The Tokens of Merit we're going to trade for gold, or just let them become traded for gold. These guys can go. This... Oh, hey, yeah, that's my helmet enchant. Is that on, by the way? Good, okay. I was a little worried. And then, I don't have any weapons equipped. Have I not had any weapons equipped all day? Whoops-a-daisy do. I'm glad I didn't vendor them. I have been running around all day doing things without my weapons equipped. I had taken them off, I think, to, like, screenshot a piece of armor or something. Also, I can vendor that staff. I just learned that for the transmog. I think 167 is more than I'll get for disenchanting it. Mirror, Janissar Blood. Those are trinkets I might still rotate in or out. And then we can kind of get rid of some of this cheap stuff. This feels a little bit better. Thanks for reminding me to clean my bags. Dreaming Essence. Really? Only 90 gold? 48 gold for that one, that one, that one. Some of those. The maybe meat we can, the meats we can sell. Tidal cores can go. Yeah, I'll post up a Rousing Earth. Sure. Give me my 1 gold. Much better. Cries in Castorals. Realized after the fact, went through a Mythic Plus with one of those Stormwind teleport cloaks equipped. Oh, man. But yeah. Oh, yeah, we can buy a backpack. That's right, that's right. And then we can get back to Freehold runs. Because we have... I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Freehold runs, meaning I have 6 left to go. But we should be able to run all 6 without needing to stop or do a lot of work. I do like the chat log spam of buyers being found for my auctions, even if it's just like getting like a gold for a Rousing Earth I posted. It's still kind of like, haha. The fantasy of instantaneously turning clutter into profit without needing to talk to anybody. 4 of 8 Igniter Coils till I get my quest mount from Mechagon. Very nice. Halfway there. Anytime I get halfway through any grind ever, Living on a Prayer starts to play in my head every single time, without fail. No exceptions. Alright, 1 backpack, please. Which color do I want? We've got the hefty haversack, or we've got the elegant bag. I'm more of a hefty haversack person, but I think the elegant bag is a little bit more unique to my collection, because if I'm looking at my back pieces, I already have Kaldori backpacks and bedrolls. We have the purple bag of findings. I have the backbone. And then you've got like the treasure nabbing bag. You've got winter, I love those things, the winter belt food packs, paw print packs, Tuskar backpacks. Those are kind of cool too. I don't think I have anything like the red velvet one. Not that I've got immediate plans to use it or anything, but I think that it is more unique, so I'm going to buy that one. Plus, who doesn't want to spoil themselves with a lovely bag? Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. What color do you keep your laser cat from Mechagon? Let's find out. Green? Green, apparently. I don't remember what the options were, but that's what I've left it on. Yeah, break time for sure. And then we're going back in for our last 6 attempts on Freehold. I will be right back. Okie dokie. I am back. I have a full water bottle. We're at a hydration station. She can hearth once again. I love the short cooldown on the Hearthstone. It's good. It's different from Classic. Zen David, thank you very much for the 6-month resub. Happy half a year. Yeah. Mythic Freehold for the mount. Speaking of which, who is next in line? Let me take a real quick look at this. Okay. Let's see who's next. We did her. Oh, I need to mail another. Hang on. I need to mail the gun to Crinkle so that she can pick it up. But we need to do, actually, did I do her already? I think I did, actually. That's right. So Crinkle's next, but I'm going to mail her the gun first. Classic Hearthstone cooldown is brutal when you're used to guild-powered retail ones. Still no map. Not yet. But that's okay. It's just a nice thing to do once a week, spend a bunch of time in Freehold. Okay. That's right. I moved this into its own bag so I would notice it when I looked at it, and I would remember to mail it to a hunter or a warrior. There we go. Huh. What item level should I aim for? You can do it on like 370. Like basically a very freshly done alt will have no problem. You could probably do it lower than that because you're not really taking damage from the enemies. It just might take a little longer to kill things. You'll notice on some of my alts that are like 370, 380, depending on what class they are. Sometimes it's fine, and sometimes I'm fighting it for a little bit longer, but it's like not a problem. Yeah, warriors can use and learn guns. They don't like use them, but they are able to equip them and learn them as transmog. Here we go. Overclocked hand cannon. Imagine the warrior gun build. We're going up this way. Weird holdover from vanilla, right? Yeah, you don't even have a ranged weapon slot anymore. That used to be a whole thing. They really should rework Fury into a throw spec. Throwing knives was the one and only weapon training that I elected to not spend 10 silver on Classic for my hunter. It's the only one I didn't do. I guess I haven't done polearms either, but I haven't actually, I don't even know. Can hunters learn polearms? You'd think they could. Anyway, that's, I think you don't even get an option to until later. We're going to Borealis. But I trained the rest of them because I had the gold for it on Hardcore Classic self-found. I had the gold from all of my skinning and leatherworking and vendoring things that I've made with that. Plus, sometimes you just get like really lucky and you just loot things that are really valuable and then you vendor them and then you're fabulously wealthy. Tommy Boy AU68. Tommy Boy Gold, thanks for the 3-month resub. Love the hair. Oh, thank you. It's been a long time since I've seen a default dragon. What in the children's bicycle helmet is this? This is funny. I haven't looked at this. I wonder if I randomized this or if I customized it on purpose. It's funny looking. It's all horns and mohawk. Don't you have to wait for a mount? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Save for a mount. Oh, in Classic. Maybe. But I don't think 10 silver for weapon training is going to be the thing that makes or breaks whether or not I get the mount, especially because by the time I'm the right level to learn the mount, that's going to be the kind of silver you can get pretty easily from just vendoring random pieces of trash. Dungeon difficulty mythic. Hazel, do you mean when you get a BOE drop in the raid, sell on the auction house for a lot? I mean, I have been known to do that, although not this expansion. I've had, like, next to no BOEs this whole expansion. All my raider friends are getting them. Although, to be fair, and I mean this with no shade intended, some of them need the gold. I have not been lucky with the BOEs. But no, in this case, because I'm talking about my hardcore self-found character, she doesn't use the auction house. She can't. She is limited to vendoring. Dropping, farming, and vendoring stuff. She is a self-contained island. I like the maw rat. This expansion, and most expansions, are not gold-wise very kind to the raid loggers. So whenever they do get a BOE drop, it's usually funding that they need. Because our guild kind of provides raid consumes, but you do still need your own gold to, like, get things crafted and to get, like, your enchants and to some extent consumes. We had potion and file cauldrons this tier, but we don't always. So, people that tend to just play raid and not do other parts of the game will sometimes end up a bit short of gold, which is totally normal. Haven't touched the complete rando tune I rolled from that website. McMisty Monk, the Mechano Mistweaver Monk. Oh yeah, the randoms. I feel like I'm going to get back into that one day. Maybe I'll use that to determine what my Earthen ult should be. Like I wonder if I could specify the race. I guess that since they can be basically anything, I could just kind of roll the random button, but then have it be like unearthen to figure out what I'll make for that. Because I feel like I should have one. I don't know why. Another character to farm Freehold with. No luck. That was attempt number 234, but we're looking good in our instance lockout. We can do another 5 characters, and I think I only have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We only have 7 left to go, so we should be okay. Well, that 10 minutes will pass by the time we get to the end of this. I wonder how many dice I've received in the process of farming this mount. I haven't been counting and I haven't been stocking them up, but I should. I should just have bags that are explicitly Harlan's loaded dice. Because sometimes I'll get like 2 of them in a single week. 27 gold each. Yeah, it was a very popular trinket. They were very good for a lot of people. And in Shadowlands, pardon me, not Shadowlands, Dragonflight Season 1? I want to say either 1 or 2. We had Freehold. Freehold is part of our... Come on, Bangs, behave. Freehold is part of our Mythic Plus rotation. How is the BG playthrough going? I didn't have the stamina for it. I was too sick. I found that when I was not feeling well, I was more inclined to play a Hearthstone Battleground than Baldur's Gate, so I haven't been playing more. I've been kind of watching my partner play though, because he's doing a playthrough as well, and he's deeper into it than me. So I've been watching that a little bit. I'm looking to go to Paralysis. That's right. Her transmog's a bit wonky, isn't it? What are you wearing? It's gotten a bit off. That was the look originally. Yeah, I'll wear that for a little longer. I don't remember what that is. Yeah, Keldoraya Heritage Armor, that's right. You forcing Quill's exploring a bit more. I will not lie to you. I still force Quillbores any chance I get. But I've been trying to be more open-minded. I had a couple dragons games. I had one first place with dragons, because I've been convinced that maybe they're okay. I had one first place with dragons, and then I had a couple like thirds and fourths. And then I've had a couple of games where I would play a build, or I would play a tribe, but I would do it in a way that I didn't normally take it and would do all right with it. Sometimes I'm trying to be more flexible. Sometimes it goes okay. It really depends. I like playing Battlegrounds both while I'm multitasking, and I also like single tasking it and like really thinking it through. But it is abundantly clear that I do massively better when I'm thinking it through, and I do dramatically worse when I am multitasking it. Like if I'm also painting my nails and I'm also watching Netflix, I enjoy Battlegrounds a lot, but I am playing at like negative 1500 rating. Like it makes a big difference. So I have to decide whether or not rating is important to me, and I think that it still is not. So I don't really mind like tanking my MMR by losing a bunch of games rapidly while I'm multitasking, and then later I get easy games that I can focus on again. But I could see how that might be frustrating if I was invested in my rating, because it's very slow to climb and it's very easy to tank. You have 2 accounts, my goodness. I understand. I used to do something like that with all my different druids for rated arena rating once upon a time. Oh, man. I was so into arena for like the 3 weeks that I was grinding shuffle. And now it's just fallen right out of my brain. It's gone. I got my mount and I've apparently moved right on. I watched an arena stream for 10 seconds last night because I was like, sometimes I'll tab through the top WoW streams to try to figure out what it is that they're doing that is working. You know, old-fashioned envy. And I watched like 10 seconds of an arena stream, and they're just playing arena. And I was like, I don't know. I'm good. I think I've seen enough of it. It makes me feel a little bit nauseous. Hoping Paladin will be easier for me to PvP with. Button mash galore, but we'll see. Hard to watch for me. I used to really enjoy watching it, but something happened. I don't know what. Maybe I got old. I used to get very excited about like, I don't know. I would follow like specific players, and I would learn what they were good at, and I would be excited to see them do that thing that they were known for. Or like I would follow enough players that I could go into a match and I could be like, oh man, this player like really does this thing well. Oh, it happened. Those are the crackers. That's the mount. That wasn't supposed to happen. Well, congratulations to me. I suppose we should get on it, shouldn't we? That was attempt 200 and, oh, I'd have to go back and check the screenshot. It's gotta be 230 something, right? Set favorite. That's my period. Shark bait. Ooh ha ha. Huge. No, I'm jealous. It can drop. It is possible. You saw it here live. The end of an era. I know, I was getting so comfy farming shark bait. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take some time. I'm not gonna start another grind today. I'm gonna take a little while to think about which grind I want to set up on next. I have a couple of options. Yeah, it could be the Mummy Raptor in King's Rest. It could be Quantum Coursers. It could be the Abyss Worm. It could be Rust Feather. It could be the Pond Nettle. There's different grinds that we can do next. But I don't want to worry about any of them today. I don't want to, I want to let this moment breathe a little bit. Broken wine bottle grind. Just got back to the stream as a drop for you. Good timing. Same way with Goldaniel. Rust Feather says hi. I skated right by Rust Feather when I poured near him on my priest. Wonderful. Well, I guess we don't need to finish the rest of our runs, do we? I do have the Under Rock Rock. The last BFA dungeon mount that I'm missing is the King's Rest Raptor. Yeah, let me pull up my simple armory so we can take a little look-see at the things that I do and don't have. It won't be updated to have this yet, but that's okay. Alright, so this is a website that I like to use to check on my collections. We can look at our mount collection, and I like it because it's pretty easy to read, and it breaks mounts down by expansion and then again by source. So I can see that I am missing the Divine Kiss of Onara, the Valiant's Reigns. I also need to finish the gardening one. There's Dragonflight Hero, there's Vault Raider. Yeah, Reigns of the Ochre Dream Town, that's the gardening one. Oh yeah, Breezebiter and Corrupt, I can't forget about them. And you go back to dungeon drops, there's 2 I'm missing from Shadowlands, Marrowfang and Tazavesh's Gear Glider. And then in BFA, we just got Sharkbait, which means that the Mummified Raptor Skull from King's Rest is the last BFA dungeon mount that we're missing. We need 2 mounts from BFA raids, but those are not necessarily the easiest grinds. I would go back before that and I would work on the Abyss Worm from Mr. Assassin. Not the Urzel, I don't like that one. Stinky. Clip this and publish it on YouTube. I wonder if it's... I mean, yeah, I might stick it on the VOD channel. I don't know if I would put it on the main channel. My main channel needs a makeover. Could see if Darkshore rares are up. Do a lap. The only one I need for that is the Frightened Kodo. I have everything else. From BFA. Frightened Kodo, that's Fabius, that's Rust Feather, that's Arachnid Harvester, and that's Soundless. But yeah, the end of the story that I was beginning to tell before Sharkbait dropped was just that I used to follow and be very invested in the interplay of various PvP players, and I liked watching them in tournaments to see how it would turn out. It was like a little WoW Arena version of like superhero fights of who would win, you know, so-and-so versus so-and-so. And nowadays, I've very much fallen out of touch. I don't really remember who does what. A lot of the names are still the same, but some of them are new, and I've kind of not kept up with the game. So it's less exciting for me to watch a match because I don't have enough information. So I want to turn that off. I have about 45 more minutes today before I need to think about getting ready to go. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to show you where I'm at with my solo self-found hardcore hunting. Did Breezebiter when the world boss was up in Azure Spam? Spam joined world boss groups to phase myself. Class hall mounts too. Yeah, that's true. That is there. There is that. I just haven't been feeling it as much. I've been collecting and it's been fine, but what if I have enough mounts? At the risk of torpedoing my content, what if I have enough mounts? Yeah, it's never really a COD stream, is it? But it'll be nice to move all these characters to something else. The trouble with Rust Feather is that not only is it very far, it's kind of, you have to like, it's like one attempt per like 20 minutes or so. It is outdoors. You could play Hearthstone BGs. I could. I'm gonna hop over and do a little bit of self-found hunting. What if you have enough mounts? Partner just asked if you're feeling okay. Oh, shucks. Oh yeah, you like Night Flame's outfit? Isn't he gorgeous? Do you like it with the brawler knuckles? Second the Hearthstone BG option. I should check the numbers. I mean, I usually just end up playing whatever I want, but I should check the numbers to see if the Hearthstone Battleground streams or the Hardcore Classic streams perform better or worse. Just out of raw curiosity. I do kind of wish I couldn't see his undies. I feel like he needs a tiny bit more skirt going on. Let me see here. Let's fire up Classic and I can show you what I did. I can show you where I'm at. I played some on my days off. I didn't like play non-stop or anything. I'm not like crazy far in, but I did a little bit. I am past the max achievement of 500. I have somewhere in the realm of 800 mounts. Okay. This'll kick in a second here. There it goes. She's level 18. Wow. Look at her beautiful armor. I think I took a flight pass, so I need to get Lola back. Don't worry, Lola hasn't gone anywhere. It is getting on time for me to take a bit of a vacation to Silverpine Forest to once again tame another critter that knows a new rank of bite. A level 16 to 17 creature in Silverpine could teach me bite 3, which would help me teach Lola how to do some extra damage. But this is my hardcore self-found hunter, which means that she cannot trade or use the auction house or send or receive mail to players. So everything she has, she earned herself. She currently has 1 gold and 22 silver. She has lots of weapon skills trained. Just in case she gets weapons of those types to drop, we can now use swords and axes, one-handed or two-handed, crossbows, guns, daggers. We haven't used those things, but if we got a good one, we could totally do it. My skinning is level 151, and my leatherworking is level 108. I got a dark leather tunic recipe to drop that I've learned, but I've been using this fine leather tunic instead because it has some extra stam on it. Her gear, she has 3 stam to cloak. I got that from a quest. That chest piece I made myself, 4 agi, 3 stam there. These bracers dropped for me, and they actually dropped a second time. I looted one and wore them, and I looted another pair of feral bindings of stamina specifically, and vendored them, which I thought was insanely lucky. She has hunting gloves that managed to drop for me. Those have 2 agi and 1 stam. I've got intellect to my belt. Don't worry about it. We have stam spirit legs that I've crafted, and then stam spirit boots that I've crafted. My weapon I've purchased quite recently. It is a white weapon from a vendor, but it is the best damage per second on a bow outside of the Wailing Caverns and 1 green world drop kind of situation. So that is very likely to be the best bow that I'm going to get because I'm not doing any dungeons. I'm not grouping on this character. I did get the Freehold map. For my bags, I had 1 green leather bag drop. So I'm using at 1 8 slot and then 2 6 slots. And then I made myself a quiver. I could buy bags from the bag vendors. There's one around here, actually. I believe he says bags and sacks, which is mildly evocative. But I'm sort of holding on to my gold in that respect because I believe in the dream of the bags dropping because of how much I am grinding. One reason that I have only 1 gold, 22 silver, and not 1 gold, like 70 silver, is because I spent 50 silver on a brown snake. There's a snake vendor patrolling in Orgrimmar, and I saw him, and I thought this snake looked especially pretty. The title brown snake does not sound super excited, but the pattern of it is lovely. Look at him. Yes, he takes up a bag slot. Yes, he cost me 50 silver. Yes, I would do it again. You cannot rename it. It's just an item in your bags, and it summons the companion. You cannot rename or personalize it or level it or do anything at all. What else? I fished up some rumsy rums so I can get 5 stam if I'm doing anything dangerous. We still have 4 slumber sand, 1 swiftness potion left. I got that from a quest, I believe. I'm into wool bandages. I have sharp arrows. I could stand to buy another couple stacks of those. And I've been mainly focusing on quests that will finish using these quest items to get them out of my bags, basically. For a while, I had a lot of bag space that was dedicated to quest items, and I've either kind of combo abandoned 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I've kind of combo abandoned / targeted those quests to get them done. I think I'm gonna try. Let's go do harpies first. Ichiaki's hide will let me get rid of Ichiaki's whistle. I have no intentions of taming Ichiaki. I have Lola. Lola is my showgirl. I would never abandon her. But I think I'm going to do the harpies. Well, I think I could do it. I'm level 18. But there are other lions in the area, so I think I'm going to skip it for now. Same thing with Kolkar leaders. I think that is a later me problem. We're going to go maybe mess with some harpies for the moment. But anything... Actually, no. Abandon that. That's right. Pet skills. So we're on Bite rank 2, Growl rank 2. I recently got Natural Armor and Great Stamina ranks 3. We need Bite rank 3, and I think that maybe that's a good thing to go get before we mess with Ichiaki. Maybe after these harpies. But that's going to be like a big adventure. We have to go all the way to Silverpine. I'm going to need to get like I'm good. Because there's no bite rank 3 enemies in the Barrens. And I'm unwilling to do it in Stone Talon Mountains because that seems like it's going to be too dangerous. So I would like to do it in Silverpine Forest. Was about to suggest Danger Doodle. Hazel, how you doing? Hey, Chance, I'm doing good. How are you doing? I know I haven't been on much, but I've been keeping apprised of your guys' SOD escapades. I hear all the dirt about all the different groups. My hardcore classic self-found hunter is level 18. Did you know that nowadays, so there's always been on hardcore a server message that publishes when somebody reaches level 60. Somewhat more recently, I've come to understand that there is also like a zone message, an emote that hits chat when someone dies. It says, death has tarnished the soul of so-and-so. It's when they lose their iron soul buff. And I think that's, first of all, hilarious. Second of all, it makes me curious if somebody could like lose that buff but still exist on the server, even though it's like the hardcore server, or if it's just kind of like a technicality. But you get like a zone message when somebody dies in addition to deathlog, which I think is pretty funny. Barons makes me miss the game so much. I'll wait for Kata. I'm sure you've been told about my immense salt level. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes loot do be like that. I stopped to clear this camp mainly because I wanted to take a look and see if they had any treasure chests. But my logic in leveling is that anything that I feel like killing and that I feel safe killing is a good idea, because it's all, if it's not giving me experience, and most of the time it does give me experience, it's also giving me gold. Like, you never know what's gonna drop. Any mob could have your next 8-slot bag on it. Any mob could have your next like bis-statted green. So it always feels like a good investment for me to take time to kill things, because time is the one resource in Hardcore Classic that you are basically unlimited on. There's no deadline. There's really nothing, no rush. So we're taking our time and we're killing anything that we feel like. Pet abilities shows you in the tooltip any skills a pet has, and it has a skill book type interface. Oh, cool. I have Classic Bestiary, which does something very similar. You can see when I mouse over the Kulkarst armor, it shows that it knows Lightning Bolt and Lightning Cloud, and it does a similar thing for pets. I don't know if it has the spellbook to browse, but I've just been using WoW-Petopia for that. Yeah, we're making our way up to the Harpies. Kodabane is kind of a dangerous thing. I've seen people die there before, and I've died there before as well. Not in hardcore, but just in general. So I think I'm going to probably leave that alone basically forever. It's only for 8 silver. I think I'm going to abandon that, actually. I don't think that's worth trying at any level for 8 silver. I wish I had an unlimited amount of time IRL. I mean, at my own expense, I could suggest that you are always able to reclaim the time you spent here. Dump it right into Hardcore Classic or learning a language or whatever it is that you wish you had time for. 18 should be one shot for you. But it's a crowded area with a lot of other enemies, and it can be difficult to, like, you can end up with aggro on ranged, and it can be dangerous. There's a reason that is a big fat red patch on the map. It can be kind of dense. This area can also be a little tiny bit dangerous because, again, we have some casters. And the density, don't call Lola puny, is a little concerning, but at my level, I think we're all right. Wouldn't make a difference. I have big plans. Well, I'm glad to hear it. That's what my boy Jans 2 did at level 30. Here? So we're here for Witchwing Talons, which is going to be kind of annoying because it's going to eat a bag slot, but we have 17 slots right now. I think I can hopefully farm all of them before my bags fill up. We'll have to see. I've been doing a little bit of fishing as well. Oh, there we go. The Centaur Bracers took me a long time. Oh, an original hardcore. Oh, I see. I've been enjoying Self-Found so much. that I've been trying to figure out different ways to kind of sell it as content so that I can justify how much time I want to put here. And the only thing I can come up with is if I can make it to some like notable level where it's like, oh man, that would actually be like really heartbreaking if she died. Because I mean, I'm level 18 and that's not nothing. We are 18 hours into it. 18 hours and 40 minutes of / played time. So it's not nothing. But it's not exactly impressive yet. But the thing is, the higher up we go, the slower the progress is going to be. And I don't know if it's ever going to be adrenaline inducing. And I think we can like hang out and socialize and chat the same way that we do when we're doing mount runs, but we do tend to have like just more activity in general when we're doing mount runs, which makes it easier to hang out and socialize and chat. Too into SOD to take on solo self-found right now. That's fair. Solo Ragnaros would be impressive. I agree. Very great stream content, very cozy. Thanks, James. You know what I need is I need like a little like a thrift store joke book or just like a list of conversation topics so that I can keep the conversation going. How much do those vendor for? 89 copper. Wow. That's almost a free silver for me. Do any of these drop the talons? It kind of looks like it. Are mount runs considered heart pounding? Mostly here to chill, monitor work emails? I wouldn't say so, but I think that the randomness element of the big moment could happen at any time does tend to induce a little bit more excitement than this, where yes, I could randomly get like a cool item to drop, but it's not as flashy of a payoff as a mount drop is. Do you have any hot sauces? I have a few, but Cholula is the one that we go through the fastest and the most regularly. We have it multiple times a day, every day. And it's annoying because it's kind of expensive and I can only find it in small bottles around here. But it's just not worth eating eggs without it. Sriracha's still hard to find and the flavor has changed. I've had a big bottle of Sriracha that has lasted me for an extremely long time. I think it might predate the Sriracha shortage. You can join groups in self-found. I am personally choosing not to. So I have party invites turned off, or blocked rather. They'll auto-decline if anybody tries to add me to a party. And I'm choosing to not do any dungeons or anything like that. But you can. You just cannot trade with other players. You cannot send or receive mail from other players. And you cannot use the auction house. Those are your limitations. Sweeter now. I use regular Cholula. I once bought Chipotle Cholula, and I found that it tasted like nothing so much as, ooh, 2 agi on a dagger. Nah, I got 4 spirit, 4 stem in my staff. I'm sticking with that. The dagger vendors for 9 silver, though. That's basically like a weapon training, or a fifth of a snake. Yeah, I got Chipotle Cholula and it reminded me of nothing so much as barbecue sauce. I ended up mixing the Chipotle Cholula with mayonnaise to make like a barbecue mayo that was really good on like a yam burrito. But I didn't buy it again because I was like, well, I could just buy barbecue sauce. I think I tried the chili garlic one once, but I'm a big fan of the original flavor. I like the classic Cholula. I like the green one too. The green one's good. I bet you there's treasure chests around here. This is the problem with listening to your stream right before my lunch break. Yeah. We food is like a recurring topic because it's always fairly safe. Food is usually fairly uncontroversial. Like we can usually, when we disagree, we can usually agree to disagree without thinking any less of each other for it, for the most part. It's also universal. It's also usually pretty satisfying. McDonald's has a new spicy Asian sauce called what now? Soy saucy sriracha sweetie sauce. Oh, I see. Little Portland rubbed off on you to make you a foodie. I don't think I would call myself a foodie. I'm somebody that eats food, but I mean, we're all people that eat food. We kind of have to. It's part of the gig. Uh-oh. That's a long stun. You invest a lot of time into bread. That's a food. That's true. Although I would say I invest a shockingly little amount of time into bread. I have optimized the daylights out of my bread process. I can turn out a loaf of bread with about 9 minutes of like active hands-on time. Mind you, there's a fair amount of hands-off time, but those 9 minutes do not involve me physically touching any of my ingredients, which is nice. Does not involve making any mess. The biggest mess that happens in my bread making process is when I'm when you cut the finished bread, it sprays crumbs everywhere because it's extremely crusty. I wouldn't call it artisan, but I would call it highly efficient. You neglect your child in the fridge. No, we're putting it into stasis. A green Cholula recipe for sweet honey jalapeno cornbread muffins. I see. No, I want some. We ordered like a mac and cheese that came with cornbread. And it was the funniest thing. It was like a cake, but it was cornbread, but it was like very sweet. I hadn't had cornbread in a really long time. And I remember thinking it was just a very confusing food for me that wasn't precisely what I was looking for. But my palate's been doing weird things lately, so I'm just trying to figure out food that I can eat that's going to make me feel okay. I've been having some strange problems with food. Got flour everywhere whenever I try and make anything with it. Tried to make noodles before. Oh, that's a fun one. I love making pasta. I got turned off from it because I didn't have any kind of a pasta extruder or roller, so I tried to hand roll it out with a wine bottle. And you can do that, but I didn't try hard enough, so I didn't get it thin enough so that the noodles, when they cooked up, were pretty overly thick and therefore kind of gummy, and they didn't sit very well in the stomach. So that kind of, it was like 10 years ago, but it's turned me off the whole process. Maybe one day. But yeah, it's fun to make because it reminds me of the Play-Doh Fun Factory. So yeah, this is getting into a bit of a denser area, and these are higher level witch wings. So we want to I want to loot this mob because I'm greedy, but I want to start to turn around and back out of here. I also want to pick up a food buff here. Divisive topic, sugar and cornbread. Not entirely sure I've ever had cornbread. Yeah, it's not something very common up here. So we're now getting these lesser healing potions to drop. Now that I have 3 of them, I might start to just vendor the minor healing pots. I'm going to get a boiled clams buff up. I need to farm more materials for more force spirit food. Okay. We used to grind these for gold. This used to be a gold grind in old hardcore. I think Flabby set up camp here at one point in his life. I have one hard and fast cornbread rule. If it's not from scratch, it better be jiffy. The only 2 things that I know that are associated with the word jiffy, one of them is Jiffy Lube, the car oil change service, and then the other one is the peanut butter brand. So this must be something different. Decided to get back to food we've been eating for centuries. I just want bread, cheese, nuts, some meat. The rest is Zoomer garbage. I respect your grind, and you haven't asked me anything. So I'm not offering any suggestions to you, but rather to the universe at large. And what I would say to the universe at large is that you're so close. Maybe find a veggie. Experiment with a veggie, you know? There's a lot of them. You know, if you don't like one, you don't have to eat that one. Took a road trip down to Washington, D.C. Part of that trip along the Chesapeake Bay. But far be it from me, or really anybody in one of these casual online spaces, to tell people how to eat. That is the territory for your doctors, nutritionists, actual experts, things telling people that you should eat this and you should not eat that. Short of telling people not to eat people, which I always like to remind people of because that's just good ethics. Cannibalism, no good. So it gets very thorny very quickly. Someday I want to go to New England, have real New England chowder. What time is it? 11:09. Look at all these lovely harpies. Oh, and I've finished my quest as well. I've got enough of them done. Wow, we're cruising through level 18 as well. Level 19's coming on up. Does scarlet count as a vegetable? Probably depends on who you're talking to and how we're defining things. I will also come right out and say I do not eat nearly as many vegetables as I should. And I would like to continue to improve in that category. You don't think there are extreme situations where cannibalism is ethical? I mean, I think you can make an argument for almost anything if you push it to an extreme situation. I was making a funny. I was trying to be silly. We have to do this every time. My goodness. You have to try that Kraft bright yellow mac and cheese. Yeah. As a fan of the Kraft bright yellow mac and cheese, I would say if you didn't grow up with it, I would not expect you to like it. It is the fakest, pretty mushy. It is barely food. It is not good, but it is nostalgic. And it is carbs, and it is easy, and it is satisfying. Also kind of salty. I think it hits the carb and the salty button in the brain. Yeah, no, it's not good. If you ate it and you were appalled, it would not surprise me in the slightest. It's just what they fed me at daycare when I was a kid. Lunch break's over. Gotta head back. Have a great rest of your stream, Hazel. Have a great rest of your day, Jans. Yeah, I usually am a healthier and happier person when I'm not eating it, but I do keep it on hand in the cupboard because sometimes it's important. Yeah, we call it craft dinner. Katie. Okay. We can take our witchwing talons. I think I could probably get away with Ichiaki, especially with my food buff and my extra 60 armor we've got over here. We have a 20.9% reduction against a level 18 attacker, which means we have an even higher reduction against a lower level attacker. I think that's what that means. I only have 3 bag slots left, though. I might need to swing by Crossroads and then kind of curve back up. You can't be in too much of a hurry to get anywhere. At least in a level and a bit, we're going to be getting into the beautiful, delicious era of Aspect of the Cheetah. I kind of want to swing through that camp to see if they have any chests, but I'm also running out of inventory space. So let's kind of thread through here. And these mac and cheese? I was more into that in my mid-20s. But it's too expensive for what it is. It's too expensive for what it is. I also find that sometimes the sauce doesn't coat the noodles evenly in the same way that you can get out of a Kraft mac and cheese. But if I'm buying a box mac and cheese, I am aiming to spend less than $3 per box in today's day and age. Key to Annie's using sour cream instead of milk. I do that for the craft. Just make your own mac and cheese. I do that too, but I think there's a time and place for both of them. It's like comparing homemade pasta to like regular pasta that you just buy cheap, or like saying, well, you can make your own potato chips at home, or you could also crack open a bag of Lay's. It probably is really delicious if you make your own potato chips, but that doesn't, that some part of the appeal of the other one was the convenience of it. I will pay for the nostalgia. Yeah, I feel that. I'm crunchy. I gotta get my teeth worked on today. Although, the one thing about when dentists are rooting around in your mouth is that you cannot reasonably be doing anything productive. The only job you have is to try to keep your mouth open, try not to choke, try not to lick the dentist, which is, like, weirdly hard. I don't know if any of you have struggled with the awkwardness of being like, my tongue is involuntarily probing this foreign thing in my mouth. And I want it to stop because that's embarrassing. And I can stop it, but then the second I stop thinking about it, my tongue is just moving. Is that just me? Please tell me that is not just me. The only way I get to sleep at night is by telling myself that is normal. But yeah, trying to not lick the dentist. And sounds kind of personal. I am really waiting for someone to agree with me. Anybody. Lie if you have to. Hi, Hazel. How's it going? Hi, Alec. It's going good. How are you doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. Oh, man. Thank you. All right. We're clearing up some space in the old bags. I'm going to feed Lola one of those. Cured medium hides, light hides. We're straight vendoring the linen now that we're into wool bandages. Sharp claw. Other scraps. We don't need that knife, so we can take the silver from that. Don't need the feathers. I think 3 is enough. I think I'm getting rid of my old minor healing pots. I want the bag space back. Okay. I fed Lola and then I sold them. Just to kind of top her up. I also have a stack of Strider meat here to feed her if it comes to it. Oh yeah, I gotta turn in the quest, that's right. Now I wish you had been discussing licking the dentist during the mount drop for the out of context YouTube short. I don't find it super hard to not do, but a bit. Thank you. Had my dentist appointment like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it's a really hard struggle, but it's something I have to stay conscious of. That's what I mean. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, more so the tools than the fingers. Although I feel like it's not very often that, like, it's mainly the tools that are in your mouth. Like there's not that many things where they're like poking around in there with fingers. Like they have various devices that keep your mouth open in various places. Yeah. Would Lola be able to avoid licking the dentist's hand? Dumb question. Crocodiles have tongues, right? I've never looked close enough in a crocodile's mouth to confirm this. Let's see if we can get away with Ichiaki's hide here. Because I want to do one more quest before. I'm going to wrap up early to make sure I have plenty of time to be ready for the dentist. Eat lunch and like clean and get all the food out of my teeth before I have to go. I am playing hardcore. This is hardcore self-found. I am level 18, which means that everything that we're wearing and using, we found ourselves. I always tell myself the dentist work on kids, probably worse than me. Yeah, especially because when you're in the dentist chair, especially if it's an office that has a space for a few other patients, you will often overhear conversations between other hygienists and patients that make you remember that you are not the most difficult client they have to deal with, because there's lots of people. It's very normal for people to have difficulty at the dentist, to have hang-ups at the dentist. And there's also just some people that have personality types that make it difficult to do something like that, because you'll ask them a question and they'll tell you an anecdote. You'll ask them if they've been flossing and they're talking to you about like their granddaughter's trip to Kenya in July. So you are not necessarily the most, you have to make quite an effort to be the most inconvenient patient in the office. Problem more about biting the dentist than licking. Huh. I did not realize that it was such a divisive topic. I need to finish this bristleback quillboar tusk thing because it's taking up 2 stacks of my inventory. You need 60 tusks, which is 4 stacks worth. But when I was farming the first 28 of them, I realized I was in kind of over my head and it was a bit dangerous. So I pulled out of there to level up more. I want an overhearing stuff at the doctor horror short. You got a story to share? Problem with my lower jaw. The dentist called 2 other doctors. Another came by. Surprised. I remember seeing 4 dentists discussing something about my jaw. Yeah, that's always concerning, is when the expert is like, you know what? We need to get my colleagues in here to have a conversation about this in front of you. Also, I'm sorry about your jaw problems. That really sucks. That's no fun at all. Yeah, so these little guys are just level 11, so that should be no problem. I'm not taming this. I'm just going to kill Ichiaki for the quest, because Lola's my girl. Am I happy with our area? I think so. Yeah, this is no problem. It is a cool looking tiger. Lion. Pardon me. Yeah, that's easy enough. I'm not going to worry about the cat's eye emeralds yet. I'm so excited for aspect of the cheetah. Self-conscious about breathing. Have to pick my moment to take a breath. Okay. But hopefully everything goes smoothly today. Whenever I'm somebody that it's not unusual for me to have an slightly elevated to greatly elevated amount of anxiety over various everyday things. So whenever there's a situation in my life in which I have made my peace with it and I have worked through that anxiety and I'm feeling much better about it, I like to appreciate that. Like, you know what? I don't mind going to the dentist. I don't mind flights. Thank goodness that actually takes a big stress out of my life. Like, I know that if I needed to take a flight for work or for like a family thing, that it wouldn't be a huge problem, because I know what it's like to live knowing that if X happens, it's going to be a big problem because you haven't dealt with your anxieties about why. And you know, the more things we can take off that list, the better. Hi, kitty cat. Welcome back. Have you guys said hi to Miss Kira yet today? I don't know if she was here earlier. Hi. Meow. Pretty kitty. She was a wonderful help when I wasn't feeling very good. Great cuddle. Nap partner. Been there for like 30 minutes. You just get so used to her coming and going that I don't always track it. Hey, baby. Hi. You're so pretty. How do you get so pretty? Every time I see a photo of like a gray tabby kitten, I go, oh, it looks just like my girl when she was a baby. And then I like get all sad, except that, you know, I still have my girl. She's still a baby. She's just a bigger baby now. You're a grown-up baby. The stripes on her legs. And she has spots on her tummy, too. She has stripes on her legs and spots on her tummy. And she's always clean. Alright, we don't do that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Harpy Lieutenant ring. So that is more dangerous. That one I'm gonna chill on for a little while. We could do it, but let's not. I want to get the rest of this level. I want to get to 19. And then I want to... Oh, hey, Sunscale Feathers. Do I want to do that quest, actually? Angry Scythe Claws. Raptor Nest. Yeah, it's 9 silver. I can try it. Although, 3 feathers. Oof. I want to get to level 19. And then I want to move myself to Silver Pine Forest to learn bite rank 3. That's what we're gonna do. But I think that for today, I want to just like grind out the last 2 bars of this level, and I feel like it's not gonna take that long, but it might actually take a while. There's higher level skinnable beasts over kind of around this corner, so I'll try a few of them and see how it is, but I need to leave fairly soon, so I don't know if we're gonna make it all the way to the next level. Cats are turning 10 in a couple weeks and I can't handle it. Yeah, she's a mackerel tabby. I had a cat named Fluffy. She was a tortoiseshell. We called her our Fluffy Turtle. Oh. My goodness. I'm not tired. Have you ever fallen asleep at the dentist? I've never done it, but I've been kind of close sometimes. You have to have a special kind of a comfy dentist chair to be that tired. But once or twice in my life, pretty close. I've heard that it's happened before. I think I would be worried that I would fall asleep and I would start snoring while they're working in my mouth. There's a new fear that's not a real problem. Oh, I got my Sunscale feather. How am I doing on leather? I have been making fine leather belts to vendor because they do pretty well for the price of the mats that go into them, and it's still been leveling up my leather working. Later on, when we get into medium leather, we have some decent stuff. I think I'll wear those pants actually once I get another piece of light leather. And then I can buy thread. I think that's worth it. You lose 2 stam, but for 5 agi, I think I would like to do that. Because my stam is kind of caught up in other areas on other parts of my gear. Ooh, we got plans for a runed copper breastplate, which we're not making because I don't have blacksmithing, but I can vendor that for a silver 50. I like that my brown snake kind of blends into the grass. I feel like in real life, if you were outdoors on the savannah and a snake is following you, it's probably not good news. That would be like very unusual behavior for a snake. I guess I'm talking out of my butt. I don't know much about snakes, but I feel like most animals... Ooh, a cloak. 1 strength, 1 agi, 1 stam. I don't think so. I think that losing 2 stam to gain 1 agi is not worth it, especially when I'm planning to trade some stam for agi later on my pants. But I like gearing in hardcore. It's kind of fun. Those are 14s. I think I need 3 sunscale feathers so that I can visit each of the 3 raptor nests. It's fun getting greens to drop. You should be scared when the vultures surround you. We see vultures circling over the city every now and then, and I always wonder if they've found like a piece of like roadkill. Is it something in a park? Are they just like eyeballing someone's chihuahua? You know? Like it's a city, but we do get vultures here. Seeing the geese coming back. Yeah. They've been flying unusually low this year, I noticed. Especially earlier in the season. Every once in a while, just riding a thermal updraft. That might be what it is. That could be entirely the case. Scatter Realms, thank you for the 57-month resub. Appreciate it. Hey Hazel, hope you're having a good day. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I am having a good day. The staff attack speed is so slow. But I need to get my staff skill caught up a little bit. I think it's behind. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Lola doesn't let me down very often. Yeah, we just need one more bar. We're in good shape here. We're not yet at the level where that's like a multi-hour proposition. That's a later us problem. I'm very curious to see. So far, it has not been very different from non-self-found hardcore, I find. I've got 2 of 3 Sunscale feathers. So far, it hasn't been that different. But later on, I think that not being able to deck myself out in like the latest equipable greens is going to make a pretty big difference, because the greens that are dropping for me in the areas that I'm questing and like looting are the greens that are equipable starting at like level 11, whereas on non self-found hardcore, I would use the gold that I got from like farming ore or whatever, and I would spend that gold on the auction house for greens that were equipable at like my level, like greens that I had only just leveled into the level bracket for, so they were much stronger. And I'm curious to see at what sort of whereabouts in this journey does that start becoming a problem, because it's got to be at some point. But it might just slow down the overall pace of things. Speaking of greens, mail boots, +2 defense. Not for me, but 3 silver and 63 copper that I get to keep. It's funny seeing hostile plane striders. We're going to get a double pull here. I'm going to use my berserking. Lola should have plenty of health to tank both of these. And then that one. Yeah, look at her. She's doing fine. Yeah. Dual wielding may be better, but for self-found enchantments are not a factor unless you are enchanting, which would be a really uphill grind to do. Yeah. I am skinning and leatherworking. And it makes weapon choice easier because I can just kind of take whatever weapon has the best stats. Oh, you're so pretty. But this is mainly what I like doing, is I was just kind of trying to find a show to put on and just kind of wander through the desert farming. Besides, I'm farming gold. I'm farming leatherworking skill. I'm farming experience. Getting progress in all kinds of goals. /EM. Fix your pocket. So many people fell for it. Oh, man. I'm sure you could still prank somebody. It just wouldn't be very nice. I know somebody that has a emote macro that people think is a chat macro. So they can use it because it's like blank so-and-so, and then there's an action, and then it's to you or on you. But because it's phrased in that way, everybody in the area sees the emote, and everybody in the area thinks that this person has targeted them individually for the emote. So they end up with some really funny interactions from people that thought that something was being started. It's not like a super offensive thing or anything. It's just funny that people think that they're being spoken to directly. That's the prank. All right, we're level 19. I have 5 points in endurance training and 3 points in thick hide, so that Lola is as tanky as she's going to be. And I have been now starting to put some points into improved aspect of the hawk, because I am sitting in there. You could make a real argument for improved revive pet for safety if your pet dies. Because right now my revive pet is at 10-second cast, but we could chop, I think, 6 seconds off of it. With 2 points. And I think eventually I may do that. But for the moment, I kind of want the damage of getting more of these aspects of the hawk procs. So I'm going to put another point into there. I might live to regret it. Or I might die and regret it. Who's to say? Make some devil sword gear for yourself. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't insert their name into it. It says on you. The same way that if somebody like targeted you and they did a /kiss, it'd be like so and so blows you a kiss. It's just plain text. So I have achieved my goal, so I should really stop farming these ordinary planesdragons. I should really leave them alone and move on with my life. It's 11:34. It's just so fun. I got a bunch of greens to drop. I'm gonna be back up to 2 gold before you know it. Plus, what if we get more of these 8-slot bags? I don't think I have to buy any more bags. I bet you they're all gonna drop. I think I'm gonna farm so many mobs that like the 12s and maybe not the 14 slots, those are really rare, but like the 12 slot bags are gonna eventually just drop for me. We're farming, we're grinding. And I'm getting medium leather now. Actually, quite a bit of it. I kind of like this spot. It was a bit dangerous earlier, but now that I'm 19, this is pretty comfy. Are there any other quests that I want to investigate now that I'm 19? I think I could finish the bristleback stuff somewhat safely, and then we're only 1 feather away. Right? Yeah, 1 feather away, and then visiting the nests, wherever those are. Harpy lieutenants is kind of a later me problem. But 1 more level, and then in 1 more level, we're gonna get Aspect of the Cheetah. Also, probably other stuff, eh? Level 20. Ooh, a whole bunch of stuff. Freezing Trap, useful. Mend Pet Rank 2, very nice. Dual Wield. Ah, look at that. That might come in handy. I have not chosen to get Distracting Shot. As a purely solo player, have not seen a huge amount of use for it. There could be applications where you're trying to pull a mob off your pet, maybe to lure it into a trap. But, seems limited. Disengage in Classic is such a disappointment if you're used to disengage in retail. It is so useless. Attempts to disengage, it's basically a threat reduction. It says character exits combat mode, but if your pet is still fighting something, I feel like it doesn't help you. I don't know. I'll train it, but I don't have a whole lot of high hopes. And then Cheetah, and then another rank of Arcane Shot as well. Alright, let's heart the org. Next time I play, which might be tomorrow on stream. We got another stream tomorrow morning. I betcha I've got some hardcore Classic in me. Although we could set up another mount run this week. I'll think about it. I'll put some thought into it while I'm sitting in the dentist chair as to what my next mount farm is going to be. We could set that up and then do a little more mount farming. I appreciate the company today, guys. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. I will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, for our Thursday morning Hazel stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.